And several other races that are also in focus as we prepare for the midterm elections this Tuesday. One gaining attention is the race for the 76th district. That area covers San Marcos, Escondido, and Rancho Penasquitos, as you see there. Joining us now to tell us about her campaign is candidate and businesswoman Kristie Bruce-Lane. Hi, Kristie. Good to see you again. How are you?
How are you, Logan? Thank you for having me this evening.
It's our pleasure. So here we go. We've got just a few more days. What are you doing to get your message across to try to get more voters interested in you?
Well, we're hitting the ground. We have constant voter contact, making phone calls, sending emails. We're doing everything possible to get my message across. You know, our families are hurting, Logan. We all know that. Over 70% of Americans believe our economy is going in the wrong direction, stemming from the bad policies of Sacramento right here in California. You know, my opponent needs to stop gaslighting people because his failed policies and votes are on record. They're visible and they are absolutely undeniable. We do have increased cost of living where it's hurting our families, where they're choosing between gas and groceries. You know, he voted to increase our gas tax 3 times. You know, he chooses, this is wrong, where our families are struggling this much. We could have provided them relief. You know, he wants to gut Prop 13, which prevents sharp increases in our property taxes. That's going to really hurt us. It's going to hurt homeowners. It's going to put some of them out on the street because they're on fixed income. He has an F rating at the Howard Jarvis taxpayer, considered a pro-tax and spender. 25% rating from California Chamber of Commerce because he's voted on yes on numerous anti-business bills that killed our jobs. You know, my opponent's paycheck is costing you or yours. And, you know, he's turned our back on the homeless. He's done nothing with 0 solutions. He's the poster boy for soft on crime, and his record clearly shows that with AB 1641. He authored that bill that allows sexually violent predators to reside next to elementary schools. His solution is ineffective. He says an ankle bracelet will work. Has anybody heard of Fat Leonard? You know, he voted for reduced sentencing for gang members, early release of prisoners with AB 960 and 965 and AB 333. He's refused to address our failing schools. We reviewed last time the literacy rates amongst our children are high. 58% of California third graders do not meet reading and writing standards. 49% at San Diego Unified. 77% of Latinos third graders cannot read or write. Voted yes on AB 101, which is offensive even to Newsom. Supported SB 1100, which suppressed the you know, the parents' voices, and supports a vax mandate, Logan, for our children with no exemptions. How many children do you think will remain at home, uneducated, not able to attend schools? There's 0 accountability, 0 transparency. Something needs to change. We need common sense policies in Sacramento, and that's exactly what I'll bring in this district.
Well, you covered a lot of issues. I'll remind our viewers that we covered Fat Leonard. He's the guy who cut off his ankle bracelet and fled. He was under house arrest for, I think, fraud for millions and millions of dollars. But, Kristie, let's dive into a few of the issues you talked about. High cost of living, because that really is just affecting everybody. I mean, it's just so expensive out there. We live in one of the most expensive states, and San Diego, of course, is expensive. And you talk a little bit about it with gas and groceries. And I mean, what could you do if you win this seat to try to help folks who are really struggling?
Yeah, let's put a gas tax moratorium. Let's give our families the relief they need. They are struggling. I'm sitting here at a pharmacy today watching an elderly couple choose between their prescriptions. You know, are we going to be able to pay our copays for our prescriptions and the life-saving medications they need? Or are we be able to get in our cars and drive? This is what it's come down to. This is so unnecessary, and we need to protect Prop 13. That will put more of us out on the street. We need to be able to remain in our homes. These are just bad policies. They're not common sense, and they need to be stopped.
Yeah, and real fast, you talk about being out of your homes and on the street. I mean, I know homelessness is another issue. You touched on that a little bit more. It just seems to be such a difficult problem to try to tackle.
You know, it's complex. It's not difficult. We just have a legislator like Maienschein who doesn't have any solutions and has 0 experience. I have experience in this area. I sit on the board of Door of Hope Salvation Army. I run my own organization that deals with homelessness. I already have the partners in place in the community to drive change. We know we can change this, but Maienschein cannot, and he has had 10 years to do it, and he has not affected change at all. And in fact, he has no policies or change in the future in place to affect it. Our sick are roaming the streets. They need help. They need to be held accountable. They need treatment. Throwing money at this situation does not work. We've seen this time and time again. Let me get to work in Sacramento. Let's get to work as a community. I know we can solve this homelessness crisis.
Thanks so much, Kristie Bruce-Lane. The website, KristieBruceLane.com. I'll just give that to you if you need any more information, running for the 76th Assembly District. Good to see you, Kristie. Thank you.
Thank you, Logan.
Okay, have a good weekend. So here we go. Kristie Bruce-Lane again running against Brian Maienschein. You see him there for that District 76 seat. We have reached out to his campaign for an interview, and we are awaiting a response.